tech world, take what I know about tech and apply it in education.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So today we're going to be looking at a tool called Wizer, and Wizer is an extremely dope tool because of the fact that it's going to help you streamline your distance learning education. I'll let you break all of the tools that you're utilizing right now and put them into one place, especially if you're dealing with our little friends. And our little friends tend to be the more squiggly individuals who perhaps lose their way down the rabbit hole of the internet. So this is a tool that I utilize in my instruction with my little friends especially. And so since there's just two of you here, we have a lot more personal dialogue. So Megan, what do you teach?
I am an elementary school teacher in North Vegas, and I teach art.
Very cool, very cool, very cool. Elizabeth, yeah, joined a little late, but what do you teach? You can put it in the chat if you like.
I teach high school special needs.
Oh, awesome. So again, I teach SLD and autism, so 2 autism courses and 2 SLD courses. So we use this for our special ed friends as well. So awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're going to send you a little link in the chat because we're going to use another tool that's really fun to play with. It's called Mentimeter. And Mentimeter is really cool because of the fact that there's some interactivity that's there. So actually, let me do this first, Webs. Escape. Share the actual link. So this is a tool, again, we're adding extra tools to your toolbox. This is a tool that you might want to utilize if you have to do presentations for your students as well, because the free version that we're going to be using gives you 2 questions you can ask. But I generally use this for our kids to kind of start off our live sessions. So if you click that link there, I'm going to start our presentation. I'm going to kind of play around a little bit.
Mike, do you intend to share your screen? I didn't know.
I'm good. We're good to go. So I'm going to hit the walk through. You should see my screen there in the background, right? So when you hit that link, we're good to go. So our big deal here is that Mentimeter gives us the ability to create polls, interactivity, word walls, all that kind of wonderful stuff without having to really do anything outside of what you're comfortable with in terms of presentation tools. So if you ever put a slide deck together, you're good to go there. You should see on your screen now scales and 3 questions. So I'm going to ask you to go and rate yourself between strongly disagree and strongly agree. Has distance learning been a positive thing for you? Have you been provided the professional learning to prepare you for this distance learning? And finally, will you kind of continue the blended learning saga as you continue, when we go back to face-to-face post-COVID, which hopefully will come very, very quickly? So go ahead and I'm gonna give you like 45 seconds or so. Go ahead and rate yourself. All right, she's cool. All right, so we're in the middle, 333. All right, cool, cool. Kind of in the middle there, and awesome, very, very cool. So you see that on my screen instantaneously gives me those results. So again, this is a really, really good thing. Just somebody else just added their information, so that went and adjusted our situation here. And you also see that it's anonymous, so I have no idea who's presenting the information. Really safeguards your students. So it's another reason why I like Mentimeter quite a bit. So not so positive, and kinda, and well, looking forward to hopefully using that in the future. Awesome sauce. All right.
That's really interesting, even though it hasn't been a super positive experience, that you still want to continue doing it. So it seems like there's some potential there. It's just like kind of rough going at the moment.
Yeah, man. Every great success starts with a little bit of failure at the beginning. So that's all good. So you'll also notice as I change the slides should change on your screen as well. But overall, just kind of in a sentence or two, overall, what's been your experience with distance learning? It's been, it's really sucking right now. It's something that has steadily improved. It's something that I wish you never had to do before again or whatever. What has been your experience with distance learning as we've started? We got some new friends in here. So new friends, don't worry about the link because you probably can't see the link because you just got in here, which is all good. But
I just sent it.
all right, wonderful. That's why Webs is the best. Overall, what's been your experience with distance learning? And then we're gonna hopefully share with you this awesome tool that's gonna hopefully improve how you feel about distance learning. Again, this is a K-12 strategy. I use this for every last one of my kids. All right, I'll give people like another 30 seconds. If nobody responds, it's all good. All right. So as people are writing or not writing, I'm just going to kind of go into Wizer. And Wizer I found wonderful. It's very difficult, especially my lower functioning students. I would agree that there are definitely some issues there, especially when those lower functioning students don't have grown-ups. Like when you're on a call with kids and their grown-ups are there, my experience has been kind of positive, but definitely echo that. With some of my SLD students, especially, way too much, especially for admin, from active to flip out and become stressed, absolutely positively. No specific training on engagement, absolutely positively. Younger teachers having to help older teachers. That's also something that we are also seeing. So absolutely positively. I think the professional learning expectations have not been fulfilled in terms of teachers being adequately prepared to go into this new place that some of us are.
Model, right? So like just in general, this model, we've tried to take what existed before and cram it into this box of the new way of doing things instead of adjusting the strategies that we're using. Like I'm thinking about guidelines of how long you have students in front of you live, not considering things like bandwidth or, you know, what your machine can handle to multitask, and just saying, nope, just take what you normally do and, you know, teach kids for 6 hours in front of a screen like that. That I think needs to be rethought a little bit. Absolute
fact. So great. We just had those 2 questions. So let's get down. We started a little bit late, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. So I'm actually going to do this. And Wizer is it's what I call a Thanos tool. And if you're familiar with the Avengers, Thanos eventually gets all the Infinity Gems. He snaps his fingers and he wipes out half the universe. And this is a tool that can—
Spoilers.
Oh, my bad. I always do that. It helps you wipe out half of your planning, in my opinion, because of the fact that you can essentially put anything into this tool. They call them worksheets, but they're so much more than a worksheet. Again, this is one of the things that has saved me countless hours of instruction. You can differentiate. So for our SLD friends, or autism friends, or special ed friends, you can do that. For our English language learning friends, you can differentiate as well. It's an amazing tool. So let's kind of, we're gonna kind of hit this create worksheet button, and then we're gonna walk through putting together a kindergarten worksheet, or kindergarten experience, we'll say. So if we look here initially, there are, you know, different designs and stuff. And, you know, I'm just going to click the chevrons one for right now. And we can title it what we want. There are also these different types of activities you can build inside here. And not that I'm not a big fan of the different types of activities, but there's 3 that I really focus on quite a bunch in order to ensure that— oh, can't see anybody else can't see the pages clearly?
It's a little blurry.
Uh-oh. Let me do this then. Melissa, can you give me the share screen option?
I don't know that I need to because you've already shared it.
Yeah, but if I share it through Zoom, it's going to be a lot clearer.
Okay, I have a shared. I can. It's going to do is it's going to allow me to share my screen, which will have your screen on it. Is that what you want to do?
No, you should be able to add me as the host and allow me to give me that screen, or you can go down to the bottom where the participants are, and you can allow everyone to share their screen.
Okay, that's what I need to do. Thank you for reminding me. You know, when you got like 5 different systems. I forget which one I'm on.
It's all good.
Participants, more. I think I'll make you, Mike, my host.
All right.
I think that'll work.
Sounds good.
Okay, you're in.
Ooh, that sounds good. Thank you, ma'am. And here we go. All right, you should be able to see that a lot clearer, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
All right, excellent. So again, lots of options here, but there are quite a few, especially if you're CCSD, a CCSD teacher with all the new tools that they've given us options with. There are a lot of things that you can do to kind of blend different tools together in order to augment your ability here. So in terms of this, the embed function here is super powerful. The reflection function here, and we're going to get to how all these work here in just a minute. The reflection, super powerful. The discussion, super powerful. All these other ones, very, very cool. But those 3 at the very end, I utilize those almost all of the time. How so? Now, we're going to kind of put together a lesson very quickly. And I'm a PBS digital innovator, so I'm going to be very transparent. I use PBS stuff all the time because it's free and it's dynamic and it's really easy for me to get at. So that's another thing to kind of deal with. Don't make up everything from scratch. Steal other people's stuff. So here's this video. That's Carla Hall's video. She's reading this story about my rainy day rocket ship. Now, we're not going to listen to the video. Go ahead, Webbs. Look like you're going to say something.
Oh, I was going to say the reflection, just so you know, is a premium option.
Oh, yeah. Which the entire deal is $35 for the year. It's way worth it, in my opinion. But even if you just use the free version, it's still worth it. Anyway, Carla Hall has a story, My Rainy Day Rocket Ship. This is the first lesson I did with my kindergarten this school year, because it's about a boy who gets locked inside of his house, who has to stay inside because it's raining outside, which is apropos for how we're learning, right? Wonderful. He uses his imagination to turn some boxes and things into a rocket ship. Wonderful. So I want this video. I'm just going to click that and open this on YouTube very quickly. Don't care about that at all, right? I want to share this. And I'm just going to copy that link there because I'm going to utilize this YouTube video first. So if I go to my website here, that's going to be kind of my let's say we're going to start out with this little video. Go to my video link. Great. YouTube's there. You're going to see Carla Hall appears right inside my worksheet in quotation marks already. Great. So we're going to call this My Rainy Day Rocket Ship. Excellent. Now, instructions. Let's say grab your grown-up and watch this story. How is the boy like you? All right, great. Now, you're going to see here where it says record instructions, optional voice. So perhaps I have a kid, like most 5-year-olds, that cannot read. I can click. Grab your grown-up and watch this story. How is the boy like you? Grab your grown-up and watch this story. How is the boy like you? Wonderful. Now I got 2 ways the kids can access my information. If they can read, great. If they can't, I have an audio question there that allows them to do what they need to do.
Megan, you're absolutely right. He totally has like that podcasting radio voice.
One day when I grow up, perhaps. So you'll also notice that down here it says differentiate instruction. This is a premium thing and I buy the premium every year, but you can give your students a learner profile assessment at the very beginning when you start using a Wizer, and it will break your kids into categories. Kids that are very audio, very visual, kids that might need extra time, etc. And you can differentiate your instruction by adding differentiation rules to every last one of your deals. So if you have a kid who perhaps can't type or can't write very well, you're going to get more audio type questions. If they can't listen, perhaps you have a deaf or hard of hearing student, more visual stuff. So you can do and change those things the way you would like. So done. So I've got my first little deal there, right? And perhaps I want to have a situation where we want to limit our students having to be online. Perhaps you're going to have like a schedule of some sort where you do like 25 minutes of work, and then you're going to stop and take a break or something. You're going to walk around, give your grown-up a high five, do a little dance, whatever you need to do. So a great way to utilize with that would be a Pomodoro timer. And so Pomodoro timers, great. Here's pomofocus.io. Great timer to have kids. We're going to work for 25 minutes. Then you're going to take a short break. You make that break ever long you want. So let's take a 10-minute break after you work. You're going to take a longer break after we work for 50 minutes or something like that. You're going to take a 15-minute break. So teaching kids, again, self-regulation, being able to monitor how much time they've been online, et cetera. They can log in with Google, so their grown-up can take a report of how long they've been online as well. So we can kind of make sure that we're staying in those 60 to 90 minutes that we're supposed to with our littles, and then the 90 to 120 with our larger people. Now, how can we get this into the Wizer? It's the $5 million question. I'm glad you asked that $5 million question. So I'm going to go and I'm going to copy that link that's up there at the top. So the pomofocus.io. And I'm going to come here, and this is a great strategy if you're using Canvas as well to get websites. What I don't want is my kids going all over the internet for tools. One place, one place, one place. This is an iframe generator tool. Totally free, doesn't cost anything. It's going to build an embed code for us very, very quickly. And so I'm just going to call this the Pomo Focus here. We're going to change the width and height to 1200 and 800 because that's the 1200 is the width of the screen generally, 800 is the height. And we're going to keep that in pixels. I'm just going to paste that URL inside there. I'll hit that preview button. And
just real quick too, we'll have a resource at the end
that has everything.
So that if you're like frantically trying to take notes and capture all of these, don't stress. Mike put together a really awesome like entire page of resources, and exactly everything that he's going to talk about today is in that resource. Absolutely, positively. So I'm going to generate that code, right? And this, remember what I said, the embed code being the important thing. It's the thing that sells everything. I'm going to copy that embed code, and I'm going to go right back here, and I'm going to find embed right here on my screen. Click. Bada bing, my timer goes right into my worksheet. So now I'm going to say, okay, cool. I'm going to call this Pace Yourself.
Hey, Mike, will you hit your record button real fast, please?
Oh.
Thank you.
I thought it was already recording.
It was recording.
Yeah, it's recording.
It's recording? All right, cool.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I thought it changed.
No worries, no worries. So we're going to call this Pace Yourself just because, again, we don't want our little friends being online for an hour or anything like that. They're going to need to take breaks, all that kind of wonderful stuff. So I'm going to say, okay, cool. Set your timer for 25 minutes and then take a break. Then take a break. Now you'll notice I have two options here for my record instructions. I'm going to click this first. Set your time for 25 minutes and then take a break. But I also have a video option here. Again, the video option, I don't need to have any special software or anything at all. Bada bing, my video is right inside the interface. I don't have any special software, I didn't download anything. Just had to give Chrome the opportunity to record my screen. Set your time for 25 minutes and then take a break. So again, differentiation. If I've got kids who want to listen to my instructions, I can have them listen. If I want them to watch my instructions, they can watch it as well. Great. An important little like tip, hint, whatever. So one of my many jobs in the past, I wrote curriculum for one of the gaming companies. And one of the things we learned when we were putting together content to teach, people how to put together gaming machines and stuff, is that it builds rapport with your learner if they can see your face. So even if it's just initially up front where you have a little video of, hi, I'm Mrs. Smith, I'll be your teacher for this year. Or every once in a while you throw in a video of you, even if it's not necessary, it's not necessary from the perspective of they can still capture your you could have recorded the audio, but including video and having them see your face build some rapport there. So that's just a little tip. And again, this Pomodoro timer will function just like it does on the website. So they hit the button and it starts to count down. I can stop it. I can say, hey, I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to take a longer break and I'm going to come back to your work because I got bored. I want to play Roblox or whatever. I need some kind of break. Mr. Lang, your assignment sucked anyway. I don't want to do this. The Pomodoro timer, really powerful piece, right? So I'm going to say, okay, cool. We're going to start with this thing. And perhaps there's some other tools about space I want the kids to kind of deal with. So again, I'm a big PBS fan. Again, if you're not familiar with PBS Learning Media, there are tons of different things inside here, literally everything by subject, by grade, by standard. Like literally, do not remake things that already exist. It's just really like, it's one of the things that we're seeing, especially if you're online, is like, oh, it's taking me 75 hours to build this. No, don't take 75 hours to build it. People already have that preloaded content. Take their content and just weave it into a lesson. All right, so again, I'm gonna look at my screen here and I don't see any embed code here. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing I just did. I'm gonna click up here. I'm gonna copy that. The iframe generator is a lifesaver. I don't want the kid to have to go there. I'm gonna put that in there and I'm gonna preview it to make sure. Oh my goodness, there's that website built in. It's gonna build right into my Wizer. I'm gonna generate my code again and copy it. And what I want the kid to do now, embed, place the code, bada bing. It's all, the ABCs go right in the page. ABCs from space. You and your grown-up have to come up, have to create, say, a new song for the ABCs. Can you do it?
And everything, but is there a way to take this and then embed it into the module so they can just click on it for today?
Absolutely. We're going to get to that.
Okay. I thought maybe I was just going ahead.
Absolutely. All right. So cool. We got that in there. Again, we can record the voice, record the video. That's inside there. Great. So that's going to keep them all in one space. And again, one of the things with Canvas with our littles is that Canvas is kind of hard sometimes to get through. If they was just one page with all your stuff on it, we're good. The other thing with teachers with Canvas was building 75 buttons and this going here. One page, everything's on one page, get the entire day's worth of activities on one page. I don't have to go to math and read. Everything's in one spot for them. So they read their little story, they do that deal, whatever. Oh, what if after their ABCs, we want them to go and do a Google Meet? Right after that, I want to actually see your face. I can embed the Google Meet here too. So if I go to meet.google.com, right, I'm just going to make up something really, really quickly. Bob and Susie go to the moon. All right, great, whatever. That's going to pop up. I'm going to copy that. When I copy it, I'm gonna go right back to my deal because I want them to have that same deal. I'm gonna go to my iframe. Oops, didn't want to do that. Paste it. That's the link to my Google Meet. Preview. Oh, watch what actually happens. It doesn't preview, but it'll generate my code. So when I get inside here, you'll see you're gonna see the Google Meet logo here. Uh-oh, they refused it. Embarrass me in front of the people. Refuse my link. I stand.
That's a good point, though, is that sometimes these things will change, and there are certain sites that won't accept the iframe. It's not you. It's just different security things they've put in place so that you can't put their website in an iframe. You could also, I mean, if you had to add this as a link, like it's not the ideal situation, but it keeps most of them in the same page most of the time, and it keeps all their resources in one place that they can go through linearly.
Me, Mr. Lang, online at 11 a.m., whatever. So the link still works. That's still going to give them that information, especially what I found with our grown-up friends is that especially our grown-ups who are not tech savvy grown-ups, having them have to jump out of links and go here and there and everywhere, et cetera, is also not a good thing. Let's make the done button there. All right, so I've got my Google Meet link. It has the time that's there. Great, 11 o'clock, whatever. The other thing for Clark County School District teachers is you now have total access to all of the Nearpod stuff. Nearpod has tons of stuff in their library that you can just search. It's already built for you, that you don't have to do squat with. You just got to say space. Wonderful. Look at all the space stuff. Then I'm saying, okay, I want kindergarten and first grade space stuff. Wonderful. Where is Starman? Yep, that looks, of course, vet it, go through and you'll see what's there or whatever. But wonderful. Yep, this seems like it's something that the kids would dig. All right, cool. Travel through space with the SpaceX thing. Yeah, that works. All right, cool. I'm going to add that to my library. I'm going to show that in my library. And I want my kids to do this activity as well. So I'm going to see that student pace button at the bottom. Bada bing. Yep, open in settings. I don't want the collaborate board on there. Where's the stupid collaborate board at?
Down at the bottom.
It's the very last
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it's all cool. My Nearpod. All right, cool. Student paste. All right, cool. I don't care. Continue.
It's because you have it disabled and that lesson requires you to use it.
So we're going to pretend that it's on there. Don't care. I'm at the embed button there. So that embed code, again, the little resource we get you at the end is going to be there. That embed code is important. I'm going to make this very large and copy it. I'm going to go right on back here. So perhaps even if we do the call at 11 o'clock, I could do a teacher-paced lesson where everybody's walking through this together if I want to do the collaborate tool. But if I'm like, hey, there are going to be kids who are taking their naps at 11 o'clock. As this often the time when I do kindergarten, my kindergarten friends come on at 12:15. I get maybe 60% of the class because people are asleep, drinking, they drank too much milk and they're out of commission. So embed code, same deal. And bada bing, my Nearpod's inside there. So again, you've got tools, use the tools. Do not go and start making up for things from scratch. Steal the stuff that they have and put the stuff into one spot. Forget scratch cooking right now. Just survive until you can figure things out. So again, that's there. I can call this whatever. Starman's Quest. Has anyone ever seen the Starman movie, the Disney movie Starman? You never seen Starman when the lady's husband dies and the alien takes his place? He's from the stars. And she finds out in the end that he's an alien, not the husband. It's on Disney Plus. Go watch it. It's good. It's good.
It sounds hardcore 80s.
It is a hardcore 80s movie, actually. Is that and Mr. Boogedy too. That's another one that I show my nephews and my nieces. Mr. Boogedy. Oh, that's a class. It's on Disney Plus too. It's a classic. Anyway, so your Nearpod is there. Of course, you can add all that funky stuff that you want, the video and the voice recording, and do what you need to do there as well. But we built nothing from scratch here. Nothing whatsoever. Got the reading thing from PBS, Pomodoro we stole, PBS Learning Media we stole. Of course, will we go back and make sure it's pedagogically sound and we add some instructions and stuff to it? Of course. But right now, I have done nothing off the top of my head in terms of writing things down. I've just stolen stuff off the internet. Nearpod, we've stolen as well. All right, great, fine, dandy. So I'm like, okay, I want the kids to see each other, right? Because, there might be a situation where I want kids to interact with one another. Oh, I know. We can go into Flipgrid and say, I want the kids to shoot videos back and forth about their experiences with the Starman adventure. Again, all I'm going to do is log in as an educator here. I'm going to create a group. Now, all of the TCSD friends, all your kids have Google emails already. So I'm just going to call this Starman. I create whatever code I want. Bob Jones. Everyone's going to join with email, even our little friends. Great. mb.ccsd.net is going to be the extension that everybody works with. Next, I don't care about that. I'm going to skip that. You see what? I've got the embed code right there. I don't even have to have them come to this site. Click. I'm going right on back here and say, you know what? I want you to shoot your little video for me right in the site. Bada bing. It goes right inside there. So now you're going to go and say, let me know what you learned. Take a quick video about your experiences.
This is great because I tried to, because I said I'm an art teacher. I tried to get them to like take a picture or record themselves with the media tab on Canvas and upload their progress on their project, and that was like pulling teeth. So.
Oh yeah, and keep it. Everything's one place. Like the little ones, the K1s. I don't even use. Everything's too clever. Everything's too clever. I just put it in Clever. I've got the grown-ups trained. You go to Clever. Don't worry about Canvas. It exists, but the Clever thing, it's one click. You're there, and we can work. Because at the beginning, when I was trying to use Google Classroom, it was way too much for the grown-ups, and they were getting frustrated. Clever is one push where they use their little badge, they click in, and everybody's where they need to be. So bada bing, they log in with Google, they can record directly into the worksheet. So they would see their video right there. Everyone would be able to see their stuff and respond and immediately. So Flipgrid goes inside there. Wonderful. Say I want to be extra amazing, and I'm going to say, okay, cool. What I'm going to do is we're going to do some interplanetary art, but I'm going to tell you a story about the Gauguin of Venus, right? So wonderful, fine, Danny. There's another tool called Synth that's really, really cool. And this is thing that I tell the little kids stories through this. They don't necessarily have to use it at all, but it's another tool for you as a teacher to say, you know what, I'm going to create the beginning of a story, and I want you to finish the story for me, little kid. I'm going to talk about whatever, and you're going to finish it. So let's come up with something really cool. I'm going to use my Hoodlums account, so it's not, no kids' names are mentioned. All right, great. So all I'm going to do here is say, I'm going to hit the plus sign. I have 256 seconds. Really cool. I got to be really concise. It's wonderful. It stops. So my next unit with all the students is storytelling. Our little friends are going to be with their grown-ups, and they're going to tell some random story about something, some topic I get them on, whatever. But they have to be concise because they only have 256 seconds. So click. Hello, my little friends. One day there was an art teacher who lived on Venus, and she used the gas and stuff in order to produce very explosive artwork. All right, wonderful. So that's 10 seconds worth of stuff. I can continue to add to the stories if I need to when I'm at the done button. Great, I'm gonna say that's beautiful for right now. It's gonna automatically transcribe what I say. So as long as I speak very clearly, I'm gonna be good. I can add hashtags. I can also add any links to that audio that I would like as well. So if you had a Google Doc or some other thing you want to deal with, you could do that. Great, I'm gonna publish this really quickly. Webs, as a software developer, like what have you in terms of making things linear? What are the actual benefits to it in 21st century in college career ready skills, since you're in a college career ready profession? What are the benefits of that?
So one of the things that comes to mind is website development and design. I think being familiar with that now that, because teachers didn't have enough on their plates, now you also get to be a web designer. But keeping things simple. So like one of the roles that I work with is called an XD, and it's an experience designer. And their job is basically to make sure that when you go to use a thing, in our case, usually it's something web-based, a website, an app, something like that, that the experience makes sense to you. So if you've ever used something, an application, a website, whatever, and found it painful because buttons aren't where you expect them to be, or you have to go hunting and searching, or it's super duper busy, and it's a little overwhelming and frustrating, that's poor design. There are a couple of patterns. So one of them is the F pattern, which means when you're looking at a website, if you look for the letter F, you'll find that the core of what, at least I'm going to say this is English speaking, or like languages where you read left to right.
Yep.
You're going to start in the upper left corner with the most important things, usually like menus and whatnot. And then the navigation bar will either go down the side or across the top. And then about halfway down the page, you might have another set of important things that you can see that will grab your attention, because that's kind of naturally where your attention tends to go as a speaker and reader of a language that goes left to right. So those are some things to keep in mind. But yeah, you want to keep an experience very linear, and you want to keep an experience, you want to make it obvious where the next step to go is. Because if there are way too many options as far as like where you can go, then it just becomes overwhelming and you get lost.
Yep.
So you want it to make it very apparent, like this is the next step.
All right, dope. So with
Yes,
that,
exactly, Megan. It is 100% like definitely like super tied into art and art practices.
so again, the embed thing is the thing. What do I have there? I've got that get embed code, so I can have my friends again listen to my story afterward. I'm gonna copy that deal, go right on back, and you notice I haven't used any other tools other than link and embed. There's my little story. The kids can play it, listen to my voice, do what I need to do. If I want to start a story, etc., they can see the full version on the website if they would like, with the done button there. So I've got nothing outside of that I create from scratch. Everything else is stuff was stolen from other individuals who very happily allowed me to embed their materials into this worksheet. So again, if there was a situation where one of the things, I've got a lot of asynchronous students that do not show up for class in person, right? Very, very frustrating if you did the bulk of your work face-to-face on those Google Meet calls, and then this kid shows up and like, hey, I haven't been here for 3 weeks because I was sleeping during your class. What am I supposed to do? If everything's in one place, the kid can walk themselves through. They can walk themselves through with a grown-up. They can pace themselves. You know, you can add as many Pomodoro timers as necessary at different places in rock and roll that way. It really, really simplifies how things roll. Oh, and I totally forgot. Remember this tool here? I can also embed this. So if you want to embed that meeting, I can take that, throw it right inside here as well, and say, at the end, you're going to give me, Mr. Lang, some kudos or whatever, and give me, you know, let me know how you're feeling. That Mentimeter goes right inside there, bada bing. It goes right inside there and rocks and rolls. So even if you wanted to present from the Wizer, you could present from the Wizer as well, with students being able to, I can start a clock, start down clock inside there. I can make that full screen. I can hide results. I can close. I can do a lot of really funky things. The limit is your imagination with this tool, because anything can go inside of it. And that's why we wanted to make sure that we presented this to teachers, because it saves me all kind of time every week. Sunday evenings are hilarious times for me because I get everything done. It's in one place. You can duplicate these to different grade levels, change them slightly and rock and roll and not have to worry about anything. The teachers who are starting to use these really cut down their time. And the thing is, I had that reflection at the very end. That lets a kid tell me, Mr. Lang, this really sucked. You suck as a teacher. Change everything. Yeah, that was okay. Mr. Lang was all right. And Mr. Lang, youthebomb.com. But I get that instant feedback as an instructor as well. They really liked the Flipgrids or whatever, and give them an opportunity to also, so I'm going to put this in here real quick. Let me know how.
Well, so we have about 3 minutes, and I don't think you ever got to how do you embed this in Canvas or Google Classroom?
So your kids can also respond in voice and video. So if you have littles that can't type, they can record their voice. They can embed in video as well and say, hey, again, Mr. Lang, you suck. That's horrible. Now, in terms of this, I can review it anytime I want. So I can review my entire deal. Yeah, I can do the preview. I don't really care. All right, cool. That's how my thing looks right now. Wonderful. If I wanted to add my rules, I could add it. I'm going to go to that assign learn. Okay, wait, let me go in. I could.
You always miss this one step.
Every time. Because
in order to review it, you have to add a subject and a grade level and give it a title.
Now, in terms of your Canvas situation, you're going to go to via link. I'm going to create this assignment. So I can send it to Google Classroom native. Like I said, it's Edmodo native. I can link it native. I can make a pin code and have a pin code for kids to access it, but I also have that embed code right there. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to copy that embed code. So I have my handy dandy Canvas here. Wonderful. I'm going to hit that edit button. When I hit that edit button, I'm going to see my raw HTML editor there in that bottom right-hand corner. That's my embed code for Canvas.
So you're using it as a page. You're not using it as an external tool.
You could do that too, but I'm going to embed that right inside the page. So you could, I mean, if you wanted to make it an external tool, you could use that as well. But I just, bada bing, there it is. It's inside of a page. The kid's going to be, you know, familiar with pages. You could do it as an external tool as well. So if I want to go here and I'm just going to leave that page there. Come on. I call this workroom whatever for some strange reason. So whatever. So again, you could do it as external URL or external tool. External URL, what's the URL? Oops. Embed code there, genius. Come here, get your link. Copy the link. Go back to your whatever. Put your external URL inside there. Come on, not iframe, genius. URL, great. Wizer. Let's load it in a new tab. Don't indent it. Add item. Great. Click that. Open Wizer in the window. Bada bing. So either way, you can do internal tool, external URL, embedded direct in the page, any of those things. All right, so what we have for you is a page that has all those tools in it and how to rock and roll with them. I'll put that inside the chat. So you've got that. Or did you already do that, Webbs?
No.
All right, cool. Do that now. That's our external tool. Our information is all on the page as well. So if you go to the very bottom of the page and you need to get in contact with us, the very last thing at the very bottom, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our website is there at the very bottom. So if you need to holler at us, holler at us.
Great. Mike, thank you so much. And you too, Webbs. Awesome presentation. I'm so impressed. And thank everyone for joining us and being patient with our technology problem this morning. But do know that we have a full agenda this afternoon, lots of cool stuff happening, so you don't want to miss out. And lunch, I put it in the chat. Lunch is from 11:50 to 12:20, but there's some cool links in the lunch tab. If you want to see some things that are happening in people's classrooms. And also don't forget to do the evaluation. And we'll see you this afternoon at our.
Good. Definitely. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks. Thanks, Megan. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks, Denise. We'll catch you later.
Thank you guys. Take care.